Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Kerbal Space Program. We just finished up the tutorial on, landing on the moon, and this seems like a good time to try to do that. If I look at our list of active contracts, we have, two that are not really related to the moon, but that we would sort of like to do eventually. And I forgot that we have upgraded mission control as part of, getting flight track planning or something. So we can hold 7 contracts, not just 2. We can just say, yeah, I want to explore the moon for sure. And I want to plant a flag on the moon. Yeah, absolutely. And let's test this kickback solid fuel booster at the launch site. We've been using that anyway, right? Test a heat shield splashdown at Kerbin. How hot can it be if you are in the water, not moving? Jeez, what a dumb contract. Anyway, so I think we will leave Endler in orbit for a while longer while we play around with moon ideas. We have 800,000 bucks. Didn't we want to upgrade something to be able to... Yeah, we want to collect surface samples. So let's do that. Right? We have plenty of money. It's not like this stuff is costing us anything, really. Now it's fully upgraded. And I feel like there was something else we wanted somewhere. No, we can already place flags. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Is there any other science that we want to do before we head on up there? Electrics? It might be nice to pick up some of this stuff. No, this isn't the solar panels. Do we already have the solar panels? What is this storage container? What does it store? Oh, it's a crew capacity with room for 4. Interesting. So for 2.5 tons, we could get a larger, we could ferry 4 things at once. And it can still withstand 2,000 kelvins of re-entry, so actually that's just a better version of putting together 2 crew capsules, because they weigh 1 or 2 tons each, right? Ish. Where are those? They're in survivability? No. General construction? Yes. So this is 1 ton. And holds 2 people. And for 2 tons, we can hold 4 people, but it's not going to be as tall as building 2 of these. This is about 2 meters tall, right? And this is also about 2 meters tall. So it's just a more compact version that doesn't impact your aerodynamics as badly as stacking together 2 of the smaller crew cabins. So that's cool. That's a nice thing that we might want. It would improve the rate at which we can do tourism, basically. Command modules. Ooh. We get better at all this stuff, I guess. Yeah. Alright, well, but we don't really need any of these. How about specialized control? Fly-by-wire avionics? What? So this lets you access CurbNet? I don't know. Lets you fly things remotely more easily, I guess. And here's tanks for RCS. So something it would be nice to have is RCS, but did we actually already unlock that? I don't remember. Was it over here? Yeah, we did. Advanced flight control. So we have RCS, and we have ways to mount propellant tanks on. But we don't really need those for landing on the moon. That's more for orbital encounters and docking with space stations and so on. Okay. Advanced landing. Well, we don't really need any of this. We already have basic landing, and that includes just some landing struts. What's the difference exactly between landing gear and landing struts? I don't know. But anyway, we have all the technology we need, and I was just looking around to see if there's anything I'm really excited to get before the next mission, and it doesn't really seem like there is. Get some aerodynamic stuff for, like, more efficient fuel, maybe, but these are all, like, sort of Rockomax things. This is so cute and tiny. So I think if we wanted to, we could like get to orbit around Minmus now, but I would rather work on landing on the moon than just extending what kinds of orbits we can get into. So what do we need to change to make this a reality? About our advanced rocket 2? Yeah. So the first thing is, these guys, I think they're thrusting about the right amount, they're just doing it for too long. So if we put less fuel in like that, they should get us into a lower orbit more easily. We can jettison them sooner. I don't know. We could just jettison them sooner while they're still burning, but I worry that that won't turn them off, and they might slam into the ship. I'd rather wait for them to burn out before I let go of them. This doesn't seem right. Shouldn't this stage... yeah. This should be here. Save that little change. And the main thing left to do, I guess, is... we need to put another... so we have this stage to get us into the sky. This stage will get us into, like, a reasonably circular orbit. This stage will get us transferred to the moon's orbit. And then what we need is something that once we're at the moon is capable of landing. But maybe... so one thing we could do is add another smaller engine on the top of this in another stage that would be like our lander stage. But I think... well... the problem is basically that we just have like a very large lander stage right now. If we put like legs at the bottom of like wherever this engine is, we would put legs basically here, and it's very, very tall, quite unreasonable. So I think instead we should like, well, let's actually rename this to be Lunar Lander Mark 1. Leave all the science stuff in place, but just a little bit less fuel in this upper stage, which seems a little bit silly, but I think that it's important to have a small profile when you're landing, and we already kind of have enough fuel to get to the moon, do various maneuvers, should be fine. I think it would be a little bit more advanced and cool to put in a landing stage that's separate and like have that rendezvous with the orbiting stage, but as we learned recently, we don't really know how to do rendezvous properly. So I think really the main thing to do is to just like put on, I don't know, 3 lander legs at the bottom of this stage, maybe? So where are we decoupling exactly? Our last decoupler is here. So we could put legs... we can't attach them to the engine, I guess. We have to put them above the engine. But if we put them here, they will be well below the how far down the craft goes. This should be enough to land us. Now, the thing that bothers me about this is it looks extremely unaerodynamic, and I worry that it's going to create some lag on the way up. Start. Oh! So you could do that, and then it's a lot more reasonable. That's cool. Now it still is like kind of a drag, but probably not that bad. And maybe not at all. Maybe the physics engine is like when these are retracted, pretend they don't exist. I'm not sure. I think this is really the last change we need to do to have a good lander. After this, the next step is to actually land it well, which is a different question entirely. But I think... Sorry, I bumped the mic again. Gotta do that at least once per few episodes, I feel like, or it isn't really a proper Amaloy recording. You guys will forget who you're listening to if I don't keep bumping the mic. So we're going to throttle down pretty low. Ah! No! There was one more change we wanted to make, which was adding a few batteries, because we did run out of reaction stuff in... ran out of electricity for our reaction wheel in that encounter rendezvous thing that we were doing earlier. And we haven't so far on trips to the moon, but we're going to be doing a bit more involved stuff. So I would like to have a bit of a backup here. We'll just put batteries on this stage, I think. I don't know exactly how batteries work. Can we transfer energy from them whenever we want, and then... Because it would be nice if we didn't have to re-enter with them. So I kind of want them on a stage that's going to be decoupled, and I just want to make sure that that will actually transfer, be able to transfer energy up. Okay, so that's that. And there was one other thing I wanted to do, actually, that I thought of, which was... Do we have lighting anywhere? Is that like a ground thing? It would be nice to be able to have a light so we can tell how close we're getting to... I guess we haven't researched that. What if we wanted to? Yes, save. So what if we went over here, looked at like... Is it really an advanced landing feature to include a light? No, I must just be looking in the wrong place. Electrics? Rechargeable battery pack. So it sort of gets charged up by using your engine, I guess, assuming that your engine can hold batteries. Okay, so there's an illuminator, Mark 1 and Mark 2. What's the difference? Extra wide, doesn't shine very far. This is sort of a more narrow one. Okay, they're both $100. It's just a question of how wide you want the area lit up to be. So let's go ahead and just unlock this. We want the electrical stuff anyway, and right now I would like to have some lights. Oh look, an unmanned thing that provides SAS. Nice. So that's handy. We'll take it. And get back to building this thing. Oh my gosh, I pushed some button in my recording software that's now like showing me two different copies of what I'm looking at. How do I leave studio mode? There we go. So now we have just... Oh my gosh, stop clicking buttons on the recording. Utility, Illuminator Mark 1 and Mark 2. Which ones do we want? I don't really know. But I want them near the leg. The landing legs, that's all. We want like 3 of them. And we want them like there. I can't mount them on the leg, can I? I don't think that would be a good idea anyway. Just like that. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Wow, they really do make a difference. Look at those. These are not like... These are not civilian flashlights, I guess. Oh, you can change the color! Oh my goodness. We can land like with alien lighting and stuff. Oh, so sweet. Nice. Alright, that's the color we're going in with. How sick is that? We'll know when we're landing. Alright, I love it. Alright, but obviously don't deploy with the lights on. We'll turn them on later. Save. And let's look at the action groups. Those are on L, I think? Basically, gear. What? How did I accidentally clicked on a thing and now we destroyed the landing gear action. Do I right-click on them to do something? I guess I'm gonna have to look up the manual here. See about action groups. Flight interface? Controls. Flight activities? Gee, toggle landing gear. Yes, I agree, but how do I set those? I guess that's something we do while we're building, right? Construction interface. Centers and costs? No. Starting the staging stack and app launcher. Okay, yeah, no, we knew that. Action groups. With action groups, you can cause things to happen all at once. You can add to the stock actions through these items in the list. Selecting a part in the scene causes it to be highlighted blue for identification. Part actions shows the available actions for the part selected in the editor. Okay, so we have to, while we're here, select the legs and then say this. What is friction control? Friction control? Oh, I see. Use the wheels to like try to stop any sideways velocity that you have. What was the default set of action groups? Is there some way that I can just reset this to standard here? What's advanced mode? Nothing interesting. Oh, reset. I see. So right now our G button for landing is just to extend these and leave the friction control setting alone. But if we wanted to, we could say to include friction control in the what the G button does. I don't think we do want to. Okay, this is pretty sweet. Alright, save. We're not going to be able to land in a single episode here. We spent a fair while like screwing around with wait, what? Oh, I see. So I don't want these selected anymore. Go away. Unselect this. Okay, select this, whatever. So that we can we could assign like all of these things to, I don't know, whatever, but we could assign these to hotkeys basically. But there's nothing much we can do. So Mark 1 command pod. So toggle the lights on the command pod and the illuminator. Do we really use the lights on the command pod? Where even are they? They're like, they don't do anything. So like, get out of here. I don't know. Yeah, get out of here. We don't need those. So we'll just toggle the illuminator when we press L and the landing gear when we press G. Okay. I hope that these slight adjustments that we've made don't Well, I hope they do make a little bit of a change to how we take off, but not so much that we mess it up. Because we reduce the amount of fuel in these guys on purpose. Okay, so what are we supposed to do here? I don't know, nothing much. Just as soon as we turn on the engines, we'll satisfy one contract. Okay, excuse me. Oh, is the staging still alright? It's been a while since I looked at it. Maybe it got messed up somehow. No. Okay, great. And east is still pressing D, so let's throttle to 1/3 and lift off in 3, 2, 1, lift off. SAS. Okay, that's fine. This rocket is a bit too heavy to flip itself over willy-nilly, though, so the fact that we didn't have SAS on yet was not a big deal. Who's flying this anyway? Jeb is, I guess. Okay, we're about halfway out of solid fuel. Where are we here? 20 kilometers right now. Running low on solid fuel. Okay, so maybe we didn't pack enough fuel, I'm not sure. Actually, it's looking pretty reasonable. Let's just roll over a bit more. Yeah, this is as far as they want to go. I'll leave them here. Throttle all the way. Actually, throttle off. Oh, look how beautiful that is. 99 kilometers. It's a little bit high, but it's not outrageous like some of our earlier ones. We got rid of the boosters at almost exactly the right time. So let's just plan a maneuver here, where we burn prograde for a while until we're in a proper orbit. Should be about 800 meters per second from previous experience, but apparently it's like 1,000? Ah, no, that's because the 800 is what it takes to get from orbit here to orbit around the moon, I remember. So let's keep an eye on our periapsis and burn a bit more, bringing it up to a nice round 90. Perfect. So it's a 1 minute 47 burn, and we're almost to apoapsis. So we should get ready. Orient towards prograde, please. Should get ready to burn. Let's see, turn off the SAS. And just roll over a bit closer to the horizon. There. And it's now time to burn, so here we go. Yeah, this upper stage has way more fuel than we need. We could shrink it a fair bit and still be just fine. I guess we can now use this upper stage to help us actually get to the moon instead of having to jettison it in Kerbal orbit, I believe. Where is our periapsis? It's still inside the planet, so once it gets outside the planet, we'll want to keep an eye on it. Looks like the landing gear, by the way, didn't make the takeoff any worse. That's good to know. I wasn't totally sure it was going to go well. Can I right-click in the planet to make my periapsis appear? No. Okay. So we just have to wait until it becomes visible and then throttle back down. Pitch over a bit towards the horizon some more. Okay, we're starting to flatten out. Almost outside the planet now. Throttle down gently. There's our periapsis, and stop. 90 by 149? Okay, we could have done better. But we still have some fuel in this stage, enough that I think it will be useful to use it to try to get to the moon, I think. let's get rid of this encounter. And where is the moon right now? It's over here. So if we want to burn to get to it, we'll probably want to aim about there. Which means add a maneuver here-ish. Burn prograde. Alright, that's clearly not working. We're probably a little bit too late. Oh, what's our inclination, by the way? Set target. 2.5 degrees. It's fine. So we want to take this encounter, or this maneuver, and move it a bit like this. There we go. So this is a 33-second burn with this stage. And it's getting us pretty close to the moon. I'm not sure if we have enough fuel to do that completely with this lower stage. And if we start trying to do it with the lower stage and then switch partway through to the upper stage, we'll lose a lot of our momentum. So we'll kind of, I don't know, 33 seconds? I think we have enough. It's close anyway. So I think I'll try to do that with this stage. Because we did, after all, cut out some of the fuel that we had left in the upper stage. So I don't want to do as many maneuvers with that as we were previously. So let's just warp to our next maneuver, which is actually like right behind us. So we're going all the way around the planet in order to get to the right place to catch up to the moon. But all in all, I'm pretty satisfied with our takeoff. We might have been a little bit too aggressive in trimming fuel from one of the stages. I don't know. Anyway, orient retrograde. Node is 53 seconds away. Or prograde. Prograde is how we're orienting. Yeah, not retrograde. So I'm just going to burn now, even though we're not quite at the node yet, so that if we have to switch over to our upper stage, we'll be able to do so without a real problem. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to finish this burn with this stage. But we're close. So dump it, and continue thrusting. Oh, activate. There we go. Yeah, so now we're halfway to the node. And we're halfway through the burn. It's perfect, actually. Wow, that was a really nice transition. Not exactly planned. I just sort of eyeballed it and hoped for the best. But I'm glad we got some extra use out of that stage. Rather than just jettisoning it and using... I'm throttling down here to make the encounter more soft. There we go. So what's our... Get rid of the encounter, please. Or maneuver. What's our periapsis? Alright, we can bring that down with a bit more throttle at this end. Alright, now we're actually overshooting it. Oh well. So let's, you know what? We're on a course for the moon right now, and I think this is a good time to take a break. Join me next episode when we encounter the moon, and we're going to try to land on it this time. Very exciting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.